Hey YouTube, this is Southern Prepper 1. I want to talk about trying to hide your signature, and this is the signature that you are creating when you burn wood in your fireplace, your wood stove, or even outside. A few days ago, I started burning this. This is cutoffs, and this is poplar, so it's a hardwood, but it's a softer of the hardwoods. I started burning all these scraps. We were doing some siding work and using this up, and I wanted to get all this burned up. If I didn't burn it this year, I was going to put it on the stack. Plus, it's so warm now that I only really need a fire in the morning just to take the chill off the house. I heat 100% with wood, so I've been doing it for many years. So I guess I'm an expert in the subject, because if I don't have wood, I don't have heat, and Mama likes heat. So we try to keep it as warm as possible for her, and the ability of using wood, we can run it up higher. If she wants to have it at 75 in the house, whatever she feels comfortable, we can do that, because it doesn't cost us as much if we had like propane or natural gas or electric. It's just we got to split more and stack more. But what I noticed 3 days ago, I came out of the house, I had a fire going, and I was using all these little small pieces of cutoffs. This wood was cut 3+ years ago. It was then cut into nice boards, and it was stacked and then stack stick. When you stack stick new boards, you need to. You can't just cut boards on the sawmill and throw them together, because the moisture will make things mold. So you put a small little 1" by 1" stick every couple feet, and then you put another board on top of that. So you have layers of wood, and you have a gap between them. And this creates the environment so your good wood can dry, be it hardwoods, be it pine, softwoods. So I had all these cutoffs, and I said, hey, let me burn these up, get rid of these, because a lot of the pieces are smaller and just harder to stack. I came out of the house a few days ago, and I looked up at the stove pipe, and it was like, what? The fire should be going. I just threw a bunch more of these pieces in it. So I went into the house and I looked, and it was like, oh, it is going. Then today I came out and I looked at it, and I had a great fire going inside, but there was no smoke. I could visibly see no smoke coming out. Now normally, if I put regular firewood, I get smoke. And I've come to the conclusion that you need to do some planning. First of all, good dry wood will create a lot less smoke. If your wood is not dried sufficiently, be it even this size, and you throw it in there, it creates more smoke, it creates more smell. Burning this, the smoke was not there, the smell was not there. So what I'm trying to get at, in the start of a crisis and you need to heat your house, I would definitely have some really thin stuff. You don't have to have this, but if you took regular firewood and just split it a lot smaller, and poplar, I don't know if it's because I didn't use oak, I normally don't use pine other than kindling wood to get the fire going, but this poplar was amazing. So I'm going to try that. So in a worst case situation, something happens and you need to use your wood stove or your fireplace, you might want to have some special wood split up, cut up, stacked up, because this created no smoke, no smell. Now granted, it's been drying for years and years and years, but it might be worth having a little stack of firewood that will be your first wood you use in an emergency to hide your signature. Now, if it gets really bad and you don't want the marauders to find you, you might even just burn your fireplace or your wood stove at night. That definitely helps keep the visibility of the smoke down. So maybe during the night, fire your house up, get it really nice and warm in there, and then during the day, before the sun comes up, try to keep your smoke from your chimney coming really non-visible, so that way other people can't see it. Now, if they're close enough, they're gonna smell it, but normally, I could not even smell this from 10 feet from my stovepipe outside. So if you want to keep the marauders away from you at the beginning of an SHTF event, have a separate pile of firewood in your stack that is extremely thin. Now, the negative side of this is, yeah, every 30 minutes I might have to open the stove and throw a few pieces in. Also, be careful you don't throw a lot of this super dry wood in, because it will get hot, in the sense of, don't overfire your stove. You might have to close your damper down a little bit. Just be careful, because I noticed that this stuff burns hot, which is good. This is better to burn really dry wood in your stove. It keeps the creosote from building up inside your stove. It limits you having to clean it, many times. It's definitely safer. So have some really dry firewood for the beginning of SHTF. If you don't want your neighbors, you don't want marauders to know that you have a warm house. Thanks for watching.